ready. For those of you that don't know, we're doing a contest. If you head over to my Facebook page, for my business page, Amanda Patterson, LMHC, and like and comment on the post, me, we are giving away a free copy of Sue Johnson's book, Hold Me Tight. And I noticed that most of the people who have commented are women, and I applaud all of you for being bold enough to say that you want to learn about relationships. And so I decided today to do a Facebook Live video, and I wanted to talk about how to increase intimacy in relationships. And I think most people probably know how to be intimate in relationships, but what ends up happening is that there becomes roadblocks to intimacy in relationships. There are things that keep people from being able to be intimate. In the beginning of relationships, it's, you know, more easy to be intimate in relationships. It's easier to be intimate in relationships, right? And so when resentments build and when injuries happen in the relationship and unhealthy patterns start to establish, what ends up happening is it creates more and more distance, and then it becomes harder and harder to be intimate within that relationship. And so I wanted to talk about some of the strategies that I usually recommend to couples in order to increase intimacy in relationships, because it's not just about wanting to increase intimacy and having more sex. That's usually not the key to increasing intimacy, though that may be one way that a couple can create some intimacy in their relationship. And so the first thing I wanted to talk about was being able to forgive in a relationship. That's a really important part. And forgiveness is usually one of the obstacles if we're not forgiving on a regular basis, if we're holding on to resentments, we're doing things to like seek revenge on our partners, even if it's in small ways. That's usually a pretty big barrier to intimacy in a relationship, right? Because if you're angry at your partner, you're probably not going to feel like being intimate with them. You're not going to feel like giving them a hug. You're not going to feel like kissing them. And you're definitely not going to feel like having sex with them. You're going to be frustrated, you're gonna push them away, and those are pretty natural things that happen a lot of the times in relationships, or normal things. And so a big tool that I like to teach is forgiveness, and being able to forgive the big things and being able to forgive the small things, right? So we have to be able to forgive the little things that our partners do, that they leave the toilet seat up, they leave the oven on, they don't let the dog out on a regular basis, right? They do these small things that really are not life or death. They're not things that are going to matter in 5 years, right? There's that rule, like, is it going to matter in 5 years? Should I continue to get mad? But that doesn't stop people from getting mad, from building resentment, right? Because if you ask your partner to turn off the oven on Monday, and then on Tuesday they forget it, and on Wednesday they forget it, and on Thursday they forget it, and on Friday they forget it, and now it's 5 days that this oven has still been on, you know, it leads to more and more resentment. It becomes harder to forgive them. And so, or it's harder to let go of those resentments. And so we have to learn how to forgive, and we have to be reminded to forgive on a regular basis for the small things. They forget to turn off, you know, again, turn off the oven. They forget to pick up their socks, right? These are common complaints that I hear all the time from couples. The common complaints that I have of in my relationship, right? We all have these sort of little things that drive us crazy that our partners do, but forgiving them on a regular basis, even if it's just forgiving them within yourself and saying, I forgive them. I forgive that they didn't pick up their socks. And maybe I do have a conversation and say, hey, I really like it when you pick up the socks. I really like when our house is clean. I really like when you help out. But there's sort of this internal process that happens for forgiveness. For bigger hurts, things like affairs, you know, lies, bigger things that occur in relationships, it's not going to be so simple to just forgive in your heart, right? Forgiveness has to be a little bit bigger than that. And I think that's pretty understandable. And generally what I recommend is doing a lot of writing. And especially if you're like to write and you're a writer, to write letters of forgiveness. Do forgiveness exercises where for 7 days, 70 times write, I forgive you for this, I forgive you for that. And so that you can start to work on being in a space of forgiving your partner. Because if you start to forgive, then what ends up happening is those resentments go away, and then you're able to connect on an easier level with your partner, and intimacy will gradually increase and grow. And so if you get to a place where you're able to let go of some of that resentment, I suggest creating new memories, right? This is what keeps a lot of people together, is thinking about the old days, thinking about when they were just beginning, or when they bought their first house, or when they got married. Memories last forever, especially in our minds. They last in pictures. And so if you're looking to connect with your partner and you're looking to create intimacy, a great way to do that is to create new memories. Book a vacation. Go to, maybe go to some spots that you had your first date at. Those are sort of creating old new memories, right? That kind of recaptures the magic, recaptures the spark in your relationship. Even if you're not quite there yet, I mean, fake it until you make it. Go out, see how you feel. Work on letting go of all of those resentments and create new memories in your relationship. Take new pictures that you keep for yourselves, or maybe print new ones out. Maybe create a bucket list of things that you want to do in your relationship to kind of find that excitement again. If you can't for financial reasons, or you have young children, or work gets in the way, create a bucket list. That can be a really fun way to connect with your partner and talk about all the things that you want to do in your relationship that you can plan to do. You can create bucket lists on Pinterest and pin different locations and pin different things that you want to do. However it is that you all in your relationship have created memories is a great way to reconnect and reestablish those levels of intimacy. And the third way is through touch. We all need touch. We thrive on that as babies. We touch babies. We've learned the importance of having skin-to-skin contact right away with mothers and babies, and that's an attachment. And it's no different when you're in a relationship, that we have to have skin-on-skin contact, even if it's just holding hands. Work on creating new ways that you can connect through touch. If you're not ready to be very intimate with your partner because of things that have happened, go in and just hold your partner's hand when you're walking through Publix, or just touch their back or pat them on the shoulders. Look for small ways to create that touch, create that connection within your relationship, and it does start to make a difference. And I love the movie What About Bob? It's so great. And one of the funny parts of the movie is when he talks about the book he wrote, Baby Steps. And this is a place where you can actually use what's in a movie. Take baby steps. Start with holding hands and then build up to the point where you're as intimate with your partner as you want to be. You can take those baby steps in your relationship, and it can be with everything. It could be, we talked about forgiveness. Take baby steps with forgiveness. Maybe buy a candle that you light every single day and you say, I forgive my partner for, the hurts that we've had in our relationship. Take baby steps to the point where maybe you can let them know you forgive them for the things that they've done that have hurt you. Maybe you write them a letter and give it to them, or maybe if you decide to go to couples counseling, you can talk about forgiveness. But you can take baby steps to get to the place that you want to be. It's the same thing with creating memories. If you can't go to Machu Picchu this weekend because of time constraints or financial constraints, why don't you do what you can do where you are locally, something that's really fun, something that the two of you enjoyed. A lot of the times when I talk to couples, they had something that they really enjoyed. Like, I talk to couples who love to go dancing, couples who love to go watch plays, couples who love to even go watch sports together. And when life gets in the way and people have children and work gets in the way and all these things start to get in the way, that creates more and more distance. And so take baby steps. If you and your partner used to love to go out dancing, or if you and your partner used to love to cook meals and have dinner parties, start small. Go to one dance class together, or go out one night and don't dance, but just be around that energy, have fun with it, and let go of all of those other, resentments, all those other negative thoughts, and go reconnect in the way that you used to like to reconnect. That's a really great tool for couples that are looking to increase intimacy in your relationship. If you used to like to do puzzles together, pull out a puzzle. It sounds really, cheesy, but do all of those things that you used to like to do together to create that intimacy. And start with baby steps. And finally, work on creating that physical touch in your relationship. Again, we all need physical touch, even if it feels like your partner doesn't need that, if they push you away, if it's been so long. we all inside are looking for that. We might not be able to express it in the same exact ways. In my last video, I talked about distancers and pursuers. Pursuers are the ones who do go touch a lot of the times, the one who do ask for hugs, do ask for kisses, do ask for sex. And the distancers a lot of the times can say no, 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 and create distance. But guess what? Both of those partners want to be intimate. Both of those partners generally want to connect. That's why we're in relationships, to be able to do these kinds of things. And so those are my tips on how to connect with your partner and how to create intimacy in your relationship. If you want to win an awesome book on relationships, please go to my pinned post on Amanda Patterson LMHC. Like the post and comment me. I would love to get some men out there who want to win this book. We will be announcing the winner next week. And I appreciate all of you being on today, and I look forward to doing more videos. If you have any suggestions or any things that you'd like to learn about, whether it's having to do with your relationship, having to do with couples, please comment below, and I'll be happy to do some Facebook Live videos on that. Have a great Thursday, everybody. Bye.